You know that moment when something hurts you deeply, and instead of arguing, crying, or explaining, you just go quiet? Not because you have nothing to say, but because somehow everything inside you becomes too loud to put into words. To other people, that silence can seem confusing, maybe even cold. They may assume you are shutting them out, being distant, or punishing them. They wonder why you will not just say what is wrong. But what if that silence is not emotional distance at all? What if it is actually something much deeper? Something your mind learned long before this moment? Because for many people, going quiet when hurt is not about not caring. It is about feeling so much that speaking feels impossible. Maybe someone says something that cuts deeper than they realize. Maybe it is a partner during an argument, a friend who dismisses your feelings, or a family member who says exactly the wrong thing. In that moment, your chest tightens, your thoughts begin racing. You feel disappointment, anger, sadness, and confusion all at once. But instead of reacting outwardly, something shifts inward. You shut down. And later, when you are alone, the words come. You replay the conversation in your mind. You think about what you should have said, what you wish you said, what you may never say. If that feels familiar, this may not be a personality flaw. Psychology suggests it may actually be a nervous system response. Dr. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory suggests that under emotional threat, the nervous system does not only choose fight or flight, sometimes it shuts down. When emotions feel overwhelming, silence may simply be your body's way of protecting you. So when you go quiet, it may not mean you are weak, manipulative, or emotionally unavailable. It may mean your system is overloaded. This is where many people are misunderstood. Others often interpret silence as rejection, when internally, it may actually be emotional survival. And this pattern often begins earlier than most people realize. No one is born believing their pain should be hidden. Children naturally express hurt. They cry, protest, and reach for comfort. But over time, certain experiences can teach someone that emotional expression feels unsafe. Maybe vulnerability was criticized. Maybe sadness was dismissed. Maybe speaking honestly led to embarrassment, punishment, or being told they were too sensitive. So the mind adapts. It learns that silence may protect better than exposure. And what begins as protection in one environment can quietly become a pattern carried into adulthood. This is why some people deeply crave understanding, yet still struggle to express pain when it is happening. They are not necessarily avoiding connection. Sometimes they are trying to avoid becoming even more vulnerable while already emotionally flooded. But here's where it becomes even more interesting. People who go quiet when hurt are often not emotionally shallow. In many cases, they feel deeply, sometimes too deeply. Their silence is not emptiness, it is processing. And sometimes, that silence is not only self-protection, it is also protection for others. But silence also has a hidden cost. When people only see your withdrawal, they may miss the wound beneath it. Relationships can suffer not always because love is absent, but because pain became too private to understand. And this creates a difficult paradox. The same silence that protects you can also isolate you. So the deeper truth is not that going quiet is wrong. It is that silence was never meant to be your only language for pain. Healing often begins when someone slowly learns that not every space is unsafe. Not every person will punish honesty. Not every vulnerable moment will be used against them. And for someone who goes quiet when hurt, that realization can take time. Because speaking is not always just communication. Sometimes it feels like risk. So if this is you, you are not broken. You are not cold. You are not incapable of connection. You may simply have a mind and body that learn to protect pain internally before expressing it externally. Your silence likely has a reason. Your patterns likely have history, and understanding that can change the question from "what is wrong with me" to "what happened to me and how did I learn to protect myself?" Because sometimes going quiet is not the absence of feeling. It is what happens when feeling runs so deep, words need more time to catch up. And maybe healing is not about forcing yourself to speak faster. Maybe it is about learning that the right people will not always require immediate words to believe your pain is real. If this resonated with you, there's more to uncover about how your mind works. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe because more interesting content is on the way.